The blue dragon led the way with scales that gleamed as bright as day. With treasure foretold and dreams of gold, we'll follow the dragon come what may.
Yeah, do we want to talk about Blue Camp and our experience there? Or we should introduce Edgar first. He's been
we said we were going to do that and then just didn't.
Yeah, because we instantly forgot.
He's sitting here patiently waiting. So Edgar is a plastic skeleton.
He's a plastic Halloween skeleton.
Plastic skeleton. Did you get him on clearance or something?
No, not on clearance.
No, it was height of Halloween. That was
height of Halloween.
Yeah.
We were decorating the front yard. I picked him up at Walmart. And after Halloween, when we put all of the decorations away, this was like height of Drachenfest hype and prep. And like Edgar kind of just sat in the living room for a while. We dressed him up just to be like a buddy. Fix his bow tie. Yeah. Edgar. And like he would just kind of sit in the living room in the chair. But as we're preparing for Drachenfest and we're like, finalizing our characters' backstories, I forget who, but somebody was like,
yeah, I can't remember.
Like, what if we took Edgar? What if we like put him in a tunic and like gave him some stuff and then just said that this is our animated skeleton buddy, who's also a slave of the Planeswalker and wants to get free. And we're like, you know what, that could work. But he's a plastic skeleton. How are we going to roleplay this? And we're like, oh, you know what? Magic items, once they cross the white mists of the Drachenlands, they cease to work. So all magics, if my character is a powerful mage with like a level 20 D&D mage with like all these magical items, and I show up to the Dragonlands, you don't have all those magical items. You don't have those abilities.
You may have them, but they don't have them.
Yeah, all magics outside of the Dragonlands cease to function once they cross the barrier. And Edgar, being an animated magical skeleton, ceased to function. So we showed up. He's with us. He's not moving.
He's with us, but he's not.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun role playing. Like, oh, Edgar, like, I wish you could talk. I wish you could move, buddy. What a shame. So part of our kind of, since we're brand new to this, we didn't really have a lot of connections going in. We're like, well, man, what if one of our quests is, what if we get Edgar like reanimated somehow? What if we can at least talk to him? That would be really cool. Like, so, like, once we get to the Dragonlands, we're gonna figure out a way to talk to Edgar and see how he's doing. But yeah, right off the bat, we brought him in. Like, we brought him to the opening ceremony, and like I was carrying him. He couldn't talk. I was like, Edgar, say something, buddy, anything. But yeah, no, we didn't get anything. But this is a whole another aspect of our experience at Drachenfest, was the museum.
That was...
So as we were kind of prepping for Drachenfest and talking to people on Discord, it was mentioned that the first year, Blue Camp had a museum. And the purpose of the Blue Camp Museum was to really emphasize and cherish and celebrate the Blue Dragon's love of exploration and discovery, and to kind of highlight and display the treasures and trinkets found on those adventurers and the items that were discovered. So first year they had a little museum and they had some items on display. Really cool. Going into the second year, Drachenfest 2023, nobody really took the lead on the museum enterprise. So there was a call went out. I was like, hey, does anybody want to do this? And we talked about it, we thought about it, and we're like, and we stepped up. We'll do it. We need kind of a purpose, a goal for the week, and we're like, we'll run the museum. And we came up with this ridiculous name, the Fantastical Feretory for Relics from Faraway Realms, aka the Blue Camp Museum. But the Feretory is what we were calling it, just kind of like this special place to house artifacts and relics. And yeah, so we collected. So from the moment we were like, oh man,
all the thrift stores.
Yep. Like weekend after weekend, we would hit Goodwill, Salvation Army, like every thrift store and antique store in the area to try to find really cool items that we could make up backstories for and just display in our little museum tent. So yeah, we bought we bought like an in-character double bell wedge tent. I think that's what it is for us to sleep in. But we also got which is essentially a carport that we spruced up to look really cool.
We can show.
Yeah, we'll
pictures
splice
of
in pictures of all this to be the museum tent. And so we had it ready. We started collecting items and chests and stuff to put in the museum. We got little pieces of like parchment paper that you can write the artifact description. And the goal for the museum was to have essentially just an open donation message saying, anybody from any camp, if you have an awesome item that you would like to put on display, we'll house it in the Blue Camp Museum. We have like little item cards that you can write to show a kind of like write a brief backstory. And we'll house it, we'll protect it. A lot of people are going to see it and appreciate it, and it'll just be really cool. So we stuck Edgar in the museum. That was his job, to be kind of the museum guy, just sitting there. He wasn't really doing much anyway, so we just stuck him at the table to watch over the museum items.
Wasn't doing much anyways.
Yeah, so our big things going into the fest, we had our characters. We're slaves of the Planewalker. We want to find a way to get free. We, as Blue Camp, want to win to give the dragon the ability to set us free. That was one goal. Other goal, try to find items for the museum. Maybe we can convince as many people as we can to donate items and really make the museum super cool, super awesome. And the last item was for Edgar, and to see if there was anything that we can do in game to help his situation as an animated skeleton. And that's kind of what we were doing. We were collecting our kit. We are gathering our items. We were practicing our LARP fighting skills, and
that was fun.
Yeah, we were reading the rolls. We're getting hyped, and finally, June 2023 came along, and we sat down and got ready for our days at Drachenfest. And I guess this segment of our recording, we can kind of just go day by day. How we got there, what we saw, what we experienced, what we thought. And yeah,